Hello, and welcome to our first ever episode of the Campus News Hour in conjunction with Camsa Press. My name is Akongwe Soluabusola, and here with me are Mr.
Adeyemi Ayomide
and Mr.
Sunday Washington.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to the show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing very fine. Thank you very much. You?
Well, very good.
All right. Thank you. We all know what's been going on in school, and in one word, I would like to ask you to tell us how the last administration was exactly.
Personally, I would say it was very average. Yeah, very average.
Very average.
To me, okay, the administration was below standard.
So, Mr. Shinilogo, I would like to ask, why did you say the administration was below standard?
Okay, because this is my fourth year in this school.
Okay.
I've been involved in every Acusa election, and I know the kind of standard that was upheld before I came, while I was in school, and so now I give it a critical review based on what they did, what they promised, and what they did. Initially, I didn't expect much. I honestly didn't expect much. So them flopping, I'm not so shocked because I knew it. When you tell people don't do this thing you want to do and they don't give you this message, and then the thing comes out bad, and then you're like, okay, now you have to be the person.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo.
Well, I said it was average because, one, I did not expect too much from the administration because personally I would have preferred if I won the election because I knew Ibukun was there for the post. For him, it was a ceremonial position. That's what I think. And from the very top, I felt like a lot of other people, like in the lower post, like social director and all that, could have done better if Ibukun was there in the picture. For instance, when it comes to the OMB money, the money was not collected by the social director. The president collected it directly, which shouldn't be. You understand? So, a lot of things, I think the structure from the very top was very flawed. He was just informing us about what the management wants. I don't think he was talking about what the students want to do.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Just to clarify, were you disappointed?
Like I said, I expected the outcome, you understand? So I was not that disappointed. But where I was disappointed was from him initially. He wasn't supposed to win. The better candidate should have won.
I would also direct that question to you as well. Were you disappointed?
Like I said, I saw it coming.
Okay.
So it's not new.
Right. Thank you very much. So, on to our next question. What is that thing that stood out for you in the last election?
The last election?
Yes.
Not the administration.
Not the administration, the last election.
Well, for me, it was just there because I was very focused with schoolwork and all that. And I was coming from my department. So the fact that she was a girl, there were some sort of propagandas flying in the hostel, especially among the male students, that our administration would be a repeat of Jimmy Kanke style. There are a lot of social things will not go properly in school, like that. So I was not all that involved. I was just a regular student who went out to vote.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any question?
To me, well, the election was in a while we've not had that kind of election, that kind of competitive election. When there was this horror election game, like it was a lot of competition. It was very strong. Everybody was involved.
Yeah.
Even those that wanted to be political, that wanted to practice political apathy, I'll just post you and I won't support you, I'm not coming out to vote. They came out to vote because they saw there was something they saw, like there was this competition and I'm competent. Well, someone was competent, and then they felt like, okay, let's give it. So he made the election. He made it top of the school. In I think in 2 years we've not had that kind of election. The last time we had that was during Jimmy Kanke set. She ran against 3 other male students,
Yes,
and it was so hot. So the election was very what it's a kind of thing I like.
That's very nice. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ayo, and thank you, Mr. Shimilogo. We'll be right back after this break. Sorry. Welcome back, and this still is the ACU Campus News Hour. And again, with me here, we have Mr. Ayo and Mr. Sunny Shimilogo. And on to our next question, Mr. Ayo. In the last administration, you were part of the SRC members, but in the souvenir that was distributed, your picture and name wasn't included. What really happened? Aside, your name was flying around in the last semester due to an incident that occurred and led to all the Acusa ESCOs getting tested for drugs. We would love you to shed more light.
Well, as for the picture, it's different from the second question.
Yes.
That's for the picture. Well, we got to a point towards the middle of last session where the sitting Senate president he left his position. I don't know why exactly, but for some reasons that were unclear, you understand? So that was Peter Faduma. He left, and I was close to Peter at that time. He did not tell me too much of why he left. So immediately Peter left, I knew something was wrong. So I stopped going to immediately after Peter left because we invited the president, the ex-president of Acusa, to be in the SRC for some questions. I was in a committee that was supposed to ask him certain questions about how well he has lived up to his manifesto. But first week he said he wasn't feeling fine. The second week he gave another flimsy excuse, and he told me he did not want to disrespect the office of the presidency. In fact, he told me that have I ever seen Tinubu in the Senate House?
Wow.
So I don't know. So immediately after all that, I felt like he did not respect us. Throughout when I was there, sometimes we sit up to 2 hours for meetings. Like we meet every Thursday. Yeah, Thursdays. From roughly 4 to 6, 4 to 7. That every Thursday. But they never even gave me pure water throughout all those meetings.
Wow.
So at that point, I just decided that, oh, what the fuck is all this? Let me just leave this place. Fuck them. In fact, they told me they will find me. I told them I don't care. So I stopped them.
Wow. Before we move on to our next question, Mr. Shimilogo, I believe you might have something to say on that.
That's a lot. Because I during the last session, the last administration, I heard about Mr. Ayo, all that went on. And I must say, from what he said, I mean, why would I be in a sitting as a senator,
Yes.
and then I'm not offered anything? Like, it's part of the constitution.
Sure.
They are expected to give every senator feeding allowance. Yes, they are expected to give them, but then Nigeria, it flows from the top, then it gets to some point and then there's a breakage.
Yeah.
So it's not new, so it's expected. Like I said, I was not expecting much from the administration. I really expected the drama from the election. So that's what I was saying.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, relating to the monetary aspect, I didn't mean that they have to pay me, you understand, but I felt like at least I should be appreciated in one way or the other. And in fact, if he just came to that Senate House and honored our invite, I wouldn't be mad at all. I don't need the money. How much do you want to pay per sitting? Initially, he promised 1,000 or 1,500 per sitting and did not give it. And nobody complained because 1,000 cannot even feed anybody in this school. So the money is not that important actually. So.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned the Senate president stepping down, and I did notice that in the last administration, he stepped down earlier on from running for the presidential post, and then stepped down as the Senate president. Like, your opinions on that? How exactly does that? It seems a bit suspicious, in honest fact. So, in a few words, like, how do you feel about that exactly?
Well, that is part of politics. It's part of politics. It depends. I don't know why, but it can be monetary problems. It can be that his mom was not in support. It can be anything. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Totally understand. Just me.
So Buddy, Peter, and I were a bit close. It's like my mom, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when he declared his candidacy, I was like, oh, that's very nice. Without a lot of support and all of that. Then later on, we discovered that it's like he's not going again. He has to step down. Well, there was some drama involved. Nights where Acusa came to our hostel. That's the big aside. Nights where they came to the hostel. But then he has his personal reasons. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can trace him.
True. Thank you very much. So, next question is still directed to you, Mr. Ayo. So, aside that, your name was flying around in the last semester due to an incident that occurred and led to all the Acusa ESCOs getting tested for drugs. We would love you to shed more light on that.
Okay, well, I think the question is wrong in one aspect. They ended up not doing the test.
Wow.
So the thing was that when I was asking Ibukun for some money for him to reimburse the people that paid for the O and bed that due to some events that happened last session that made this session shorter than expected. So while I was asking him, I kept on pressing him up till the first week. He lied to me that I returned the money to them already. Then I had to go out of my way to go and do some kind of research. And all those people told me they've not gotten anything. So after that, I went to meet him the second week. He told me, okay, only 5 people paid, like that. And those people told me not to mention their names. So that was why. But he did not know that ticket.
Yeah.
So he was just giving flimsy excuses. Then on the third week, something happened. That day, we had to start the exam, or maybe we started the exam already. I'm not that sure. I can't remember it, but
Yeah.
on that day, I insisted that, okay, I won't let him drive that car. Okay, well, so the thing is, series of events led to the open starting from the common that thing, that exactly. He told me that he was about to go somewhere with the Acusa. And that day was like the last week or the second to the last week of the semester. So I insisted that he has to give me defined answers, not vague answers like he did. And I said I won't let him do that is unless he gives me a convincing answer. And in this school, I don't know if you know, the truth is that I think the school bully people with doctors is something that is widely known in the school. So he called the sheriff, or the sheriff to take me for doctors. About 3 of them came to take me for doctors. That was how the whole issue escalated. I mean, I don't speak, but I stay in some places. I know with some people that look like they are hooligans because I'm someone that I have a wide network of friends from the very serious people to people at the experiment. Like, I can relate to any kind of person, you understand? So, I don't know why it got that way, but it took me there. When I got there, I told him I was going to be a doctor because I think I have the right to decline because nobody can tell me when I'm first. And they need my urine some. I can say I'm a first. So when I got there, I told Dr. Ojo it was the subdinas at that time. Then we made a pact that okay, if I do the doctor, all these other episodes was have to do it. And me, I knew some of them that's it. Yes. So I expected that if they could do that doctors, they'll come out positive. So immediately after they took my urine sample, the test came out negative, the whole story changed. Started telling me things that were against our original agreement, you understand? So immediately after that, I go and I felt spirit twice. First, by calling me Sherry, just because I was asking you about money. Secondly, with the dean, with the sub-dean, that was Dr. Ojo. By him breaking that part. So I became angry. In fact, as again, I thought I would leave school because I felt like I was disappointed in the Anglican community, the school at large, the management, the Acusa, and everything. So for me, I wanted to leave the school. But after I went home, I decided, after speaking to a lot of people, then I thought I don't really let us come back. continue what I started. But that's part of why I want to be part of the change and make this company.
Thank you so much, Ayo. I was actually curious. I heard some of your commentary, so I would like to ask if you have anything to say to that.
I honestly don't have anything to say.
Thank you very much. So, on to our next question, Mr. Shedelogo. What do you think? What do you think about propaganda of some of the Acusa aspirants?
Well, the political structure of this school or the political mind that a lot of people have is shallow, and it's beginning to look like a trend because if you look carefully, the last before the beginning of the last session, Abike was a general secretary, and then an interim government was set up, and he used there was this propaganda of giving beds to freshers. You didn't buy the beds. Is the management using you? Okay, you are using the arc. It's meant for the students. So it is not meant to be a thing of I'm helping you per se. Okay, you shared beds. After office, when you got into office, what changed? Your well, let's not go into that. So as regards those that are now sharing beds, I mean, they see it as a tactics because the students of Ajayi Crowther, one thing about them is that I feel about them is that they are easily cajoled. They are easily cajoled. If I share bed for you, you go vote me. Honestly, because that is why. And now there's even there's a clash of clash of interest because those that are with IBK and those that seem to know not like they are not under him, but they want to maybe be on their own. Some of them were glorious Oluwadara that is aspiring for vice president. He was sharing bed. But then Capo is coming for him. IBK shared beds, of course. So what's the difference? Do you get? But then I think they said, okay, maybe Dara was not part of it and all of that and all of that. That's why they came for him. But then look into it politically. No be your guy. So that's not meant to be a problem. I mean, we all share beds for votes in this one. They all share beds for votes. Of course.
Mr. Ayo. Same question. What do you think about the propaganda of the current aspirants?
Well, I think it's something that's common in this school, trying to change the narrative just to suit their agenda. Like, in all honesty, I think the media bodies contribute to bullying other aspects, especially looking at it's painful that social media, which is supposed to be a free, fair, and open platform for every student, contributes to that to bullying students because at least, especially there that I mentioned, I think they've been several over the last few days or months. And my friend Nunes is another person that I want to picture because Apex has been bullying too since he mentioned our students. Nunes and they've been targeted specifically by being so-called media bodies. I don't know when bullying became acceptable. I think bullying has been a tactic for so long. I think we should stop. Yeah.
So, the message to all to the media body in the school: stop bullying.
She normal.
Of
course.
We'll be right back after the short break. Welcome back, everyone. And this is still the ACU Campus News Hour. And I am still here with Mr. Ayo and Mr. Shinobu. On to our next question. In a few words, without mentioning any names, advise a candidate to rest and that they can't win the post they are vying for. Starting with Mr. Shinobu.
Oh well. I can't say that a person will not win. Depends on how well you play your cards. But my candid advice to some aspirants, to a particular aspirant, is that The motto of this school is raising godly intellectuals. We want people that are intellectually sound. We don't want people that will, because the position you are vying for is a very key position. We don't want people that will get there and then because oh, because this position it is also it carries the SRC along because to call a sitting through the president, it is that position that does it. So for you to hold that office, I mean, you were there as an assistant the last administration, and thank God you were, I think, unopposed or something. But then there's a need for being there's a level of intellectual capacity that is needed for some positions. So you can step up the game.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo.
Okay, for me, I think there are a lot of aspirants in this election. A lot of them are very smart. Like I spoke to at least three of the presidential candidates: Joba, Nines, Joshua, those three, and Victor Villot. I think all of them are sound. They have very good plans, the four of them. So trust me, I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. But coming to the VP, two of them, they are coming with different characteristics. They are very two different people, you understand, and I think two of them will do well too, in all honesty. Then down to all the other posts. Even my opponent, I think he has very good plans too. The only reason why I'm in the picture is because I think there is something I can do that he can't do. So that's just it. It's just one thing. Outside that, there is no difference between both of us. He means well for the students. Then other posts too, I think everybody is sound actually. Almost anybody can win. It's just student politics, it's not that big. That's why the minimum requirement is just 3.0. There was a screening, so anybody that can meet up to 3.0 is definitely competent, at least intellectually, to lead. It's just 3.0. Politics and academics are two different things. Like academics now, you need to read to pass. Whoever reads, if someone with a 3.0 GP decides to be serious next session, he can raise his results to 4.5 for first class in just one semester. Like I don't mean CGPA, just that semester result. So I think academics and intelligence are not that together. They are divergent.
Thank you very much. Now, I would like to just ask in general terms, what do you think these aspirants can do better in order to make living comfortable for students?
Well, I think the biggest problem we face in this school is always from the very top. Most of the times, at least since I've been in this school, the presidents are always more like, sorry to use this word, but I would say most of the presidents I've seen, that's Chidi and Ibukun, I'll describe them as what I would call the management's puppet. Since I came to this school, we have never had anybody that is there and puts the students first, the management second. So I'll be glad if they can make a change this time around.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Oh well, they want to do things better, like you said, but they cannot because the approval is not in their hands. Honestly, the what's it called? The student body, there's little to nothing that they can do. Let's just give them the position. We know we have student body, but the responsibilities they can't embody it, and it's not them. I honestly do not blame them. I mean, I can't pay 1.2 million to come and face a problem with the management. So that's just it.
Thank you very much. This has been absolutely enlightening. And again, I want to appreciate you for coming on here and giving us your honest and opinions about everything. So this has been a beautiful episode, and I would like to ask our viewers and our listeners to like, comment, and follow the TPMS Media Studios. We appreciate you all once again. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
host. Thank you.
Celebration, celebration, jubilation.